is up, guys? Billsif here, and today we're going to be talking about why I think, in my opinion, older games will always be better than newer games. In the background, I'm probably going to put some Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas because I just bought those off Steam, and they're so fun. And that kind of sparked why I think old games are better than new games, and why I'm going to make this video pretty much. But I'm pretty much just going to be running around, probably. I really don't know what the gameplay is right now. I'm pretty sure I'm just running around, not doing any missions or anything. But hope you enjoy that. That'll be in the background. If not, if I don't have enough footage to actually cover this video, I'll probably throw in maybe some Destiny or Assassin's Creed. But we'll see what happens. So one of the reasons why I think older games, or some evidence why older games are better than newer games, is because, I don't know, new games you get hyped for, right? Like, just look at Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed Unity, Destiny. All those games were really, really hyped, really, a large following got hyped for those games, and they turned out to be a major letdown / disappointment. Now, of course, if you're like me and you find a game like Fallout or whatever game you want it to be, if you find a game like that randomly, like I did, you don't really have expectations for that game. You really just say, hey, this game looks awesome, I'll play it, because, you know, you're not getting hyped for it. You just randomly stumble upon an old game, and even if you own an old game, you know what I mean? Because I have a bunch of PS2 games on my shelf right now, and a lot of those are way old, and a lot of those games are still more fun than new games that are supposed to be better than those games. So also, I don't know if it's just me or a bunch of other people, but I grew up playing PS2. Now it's an older console, so, you know, there's going to be older games. I grew up playing like Star Wars Battlefront or Deer Hunter, or, you know, a lot of those older games that are considered some of the best games ever. Maybe not Deer Hunter, but Battlefront for sure. I can't think of any other games. Hold on one second. Yeah, I mean, really, Battlefront is one of those games that you can just go back and play anytime. And I mean, PC works the same way. I mean, Fallout. Let me look at my Steam library real quick. I'm going to check a lot of things. I mean, just look. Games like Fallout, or just even the old Civilization games. And also, you know, a lot of older MMOs like Rift or Guild Wars 2, a lot of those games. Now I know I'm just going to be rambling this whole time. I'm kind of just free talking this, but I've been thinking about this lately on how why I mean, I've been playing a lot of older games recently. I mean, like Skate. I mean, that's not that old. And I mean, another great thing about playing old games or looking into old games is that everyone's already settled on how good or bad that game was. You don't need to worry about mixed opinions, or you don't need to worry about a lot, at least. Now, if you go look at reviews for a new game that just came out, most of the time there'll be people saying it's good and some people saying it's bad. But if you go to like an old game, like I did some research before Fallout, and they rated those games pretty high. A lot of people thought the Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas were pretty good games. So now, if you're gonna buy an old game, you can just look back on there and check out, you know, what people thought of that game, and then you can see how good that game actually was. And this fits into the whole fact why these older games are better than new ones, because you have that assurance, you're reassured that these games are going to be good, which is always something you want to do before you buy a game. I mean, you don't want to buy a game that you won't enjoy, or one that's just bugged to hell. I mean, if you're doing that, then you may as well not spend your $60 or, in my case, your $10 on video games or anything really. If it's not worth your money, your investment, then I would say not to buy it. I mean, you got to check the quality, the amount of time that you could spend with that game, and everything like that. Another thing that I think is important, or at least why an older game is better than a new one, is because this is just my opinion, this is just how I feel at this moment, but I feel like back in the day, or at least early 2000s, mid 2000s, or not mid 2000s, but you know what I mean, like 2005 to 2010, gaming was mainly about games. It's kind of hard to, think that, and I mean, games are still about games now, but a lot of those games are kind of centered around what gaming actually is, and that's playing video games. But then again, you have all these other factoring things in there, like being able to play with your friends, being able to play with your family on the same console. Now, if you look at a lot of the new gen games, you have games like Battlefield. I know Call of Duty always has split screen, but other games like Far Cry or Unity or Destiny, you can't have a friend over and be like, hey, you want to play some Destiny? Hey, you want to play some Assassin's Creed? Hey, you want to play Far Cry? Because they can't play. And unless you want to switch the controller off, which is okay that's one of the things that's hard about doing that, is if your friend sucks at those games, it's kind of hard to pass them over the controller if they're not good. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want you to play my game if you're not good at it, because it's kind of painful to watch someone who's bad at that game play that game. Another thing, the type of game. Now, Battlefield 4. If you look at that game, it's mainly multiplayer. The campaign's just something in there to, either fill in the trophy spot or the kind of like give trophies, or, just kind of a fun thing to do. I know I didn't do that much of the campaign because I got to the part where you're supposed to go to the Chinese airport, military air base or whatever it was, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to beating the Battlefield 4 campaign. But the thing is that if you go back into those other games like Star Wars Battlefront, the game was specifically made pretty much to play local multiplayer or split screen, and that goes back into the old thing where I think playing with friends was a big focus. I mean, nowadays people are like, oh yeah, you can play from separate consoles, everyone has a console, everyone, stuff like that, saying that you don't need split screen because you can already play online. And I know that's true, but not everyone has those same games, so I'd at least like to be able to play with my friends at my house without them having to bring their entire console over. And back to the whole multiplayer deal, I mean, games used to be either all around, strictly, all around, like having multiplayer, and having a good campaign, and then having like co-op, and all of them were great. I mean, things like that. And then you have games that are strictly, marketed as a single-player game, kind of like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And then you have games like Battlefield, which are strictly marketed pretty much as multiplayer. Or you go into MMOs, those are pretty much strictly multiplayer. Heavy emphasis on playing with other people. So back then, a lot of things used to be like, there was a clear line on what they were. But now you go into Battlefield and you're like, is this supposed to be, like, are you supposed to play the campaign? You know what I mean? Are you supposed to play the campaign of this game? I know it can help you, it can get you cool dog tags, stuff like that. I'm going to use Battlefield 4 a lot. I'm almost done here. But, things like that, you don't really know what that game is supposed to be. I mean, because it's Battlefield. But, like, with other games that come out as the year progresses, you know, you might not know, because, you know, Battlefield, since like Battlefield 2 or Battlefield 3, I don't remember. I didn't play a lot of Battlefield back then, because Battlefield 4 was my first Battlefield game. But what I think is that we all know Battlefield has heavy emphasis on multiplayer, and that they should probably just get rid of the whole campaign thing. But we know that. But with other newer game franchises, a lot of these newer games they're releasing, and we don't exactly know, or at least I don't exactly know, if these are supposed to be mainly single player or mainly multiplayer. But if I look back on older games, do some research, I can see that they are what they are and be content with knowing that. So, kind of just a brief overcap of all I just said in this 11 minutes that I'm coming to right now. You know a lot more about older games because a lot of people have played those older games probably, and you have a lot more information to go off of instead of a bunch of reviews online for a game that came out like 2 days ago, I guess. Another thing, you are reassured in what type of game you're buying. Another thing, older games, they're better. I don't know what else to say, you know what I mean? Because Fallout, a lot of people still play Fallout. A lot of people still play New Vegas. A lot of people still play Battlefront, I'm pretty sure. You know, all those games, that nostalgia factor, that's another thing. You will always remember games. I know I do. You always remember the time that you spent with those games because, you know, they're a big part of, if you're a gamer like me, they're a big part of your life, big part of what you do, and there's something that really matter to you, and you remember those memories of you playing Battlefront or you playing, Fallout. Those memories of you either playing with siblings, you playing with yourself. You know what I mean? So I guess that memory factor too, the whole nostalgia. I mean, I enjoy a new game. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love new games. New games are awesome. I mean, Far Cry's fun. Unity's fun. Destiny's fun. All those new games are fun. But I always seem to be coming back to older games. I mean, that's another one. Knights of the Old Republic. A lot of those older, especially RPGs, a lot of those games you can keep coming back to and they'll never get boring. At least in my opinion. Well, guys, if you have any thoughts on whether or not older games are better than newer games, and no PC Master Race comments, please. None at all. Or console Master Race, or no Wii U Master Race, none of that. I'm not talking about graphics, I'm talking about the game itself. Not about the engine, not about the graphics. Just either the feel of the game, the type of the game, or just the game in general, you know. Things like that. If you agree with me, let me know through the good old like button. If you disagree with me, don't do anything. Just let me know in the comments or tweet at us at FTSUp. And also, if you want to see more videos like this kind of rambling type, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But again, if you're new to the channel, I also do gaming videos. I've been kind of slacking the last 2 days because, Fallout, but, we all get excited over new games. New old games. So yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me, the Billsif, and us, FTSUp. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Welcome to the feast, I unleash